All right.
Hello.
Hi, this is actually working.
So far.
By an absolute miracle. All right. Well, if you're watching us, I'm sorry, but welcome to Blabbin Bout Slabbin, which honestly, it doesn't sound right coming out of my mouth. I don't know if it ever will. I really don't.
Slabbin sounds good.
It's fun to say, but I feel like I need like a spit guard or something. I don't know. My phone's not going to survive. But I like to think, if nothing else, we're saving the apostrophe single-handedly, Jeff.
That's right. Yes, because it's Blabbin Bout Slabbin.
That's right.
And
there's no A.
Who came up with that name?
That's an excellent question. I have to thank my wife, who in a Prosecco-induced stupor, spat that phrase out and laughed about it for about an hour and a half. I think she texted your wife shortly thereafter, and we were in trouble ever since.
Yes, it was a great title. It was better than the wife's other choice of cardboard, B-O-R-E-D.
Right. Yeah, well, you know, wordplay doesn't really work, thankfully.
No.
Good. All right.
But thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
Yeah. Oh, geez. All right, well, we'll have to block the original Moutster, I think. I mean, it still could, though, Malcolm. It still could. The night is very young. You know, I'm on cocktail 1, so there's a long way to go. Long way to go.
All right, what are we talking about?
What are we going to be talking about? Well, first of all, I should say I am Baseball Card Addict. My name is Chris, and I'm joined here by my good friend, My Favorite Cardboard, and his real name is
My
Jeff.
name is Jeff. That's right.
I think we've known each other for like 12 years, right?
Yeah.
Give or take?
Give or take.
Give or take.
Yeah.
We met playing recreational adult softball, which is how all the prime athletes meet, I think.
Right. That's right. A lot of injuries and complaining.
Yeah. So now we collect cards and we still play, but we don't get hurt nearly as much, which is good.
Yeah, true.
All right, so I just want to say, before we talk about any cards or anything specific or give any advice, just please remember that there are literally an infinite number of combinations in letters and words of the English language. And we chose Blabbin Bout Slabbin. Sorry, Blabbin Bout Slabbin for our Instagram name. So before you go taking any advice from us or running off to buy what we talk about, remember that. These two guys chose Blabbin Bout Slabbin. It's very important.
Yeah.
Yes, but yes, I thought
there's a lot of places you could go for quality advice.
Correct.
And this is one of them. In fact, maybe it's not, but
I don't know. So we thought we'd just spend a little while tonight talking about 2 cards that Jeff and I have picked up over the last like 2 or 3 weeks. Why we bought them, how we bought them, what we think might happen with them, etc. If you think we're crazy, let us know. If you think we're smart, yeah, geez, I don't know. I don't know how to respond to that. So anyway, should I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let's kick this thing off. Let's do what we seemed to be doing as adults when we were kids and talk about baseball cards. Oh,
yeah. Do you want to talk about how you started collecting?
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, I started as a kid, obviously, as most of us do, but much later than a lot of kids, I got out of it. Probably around like the mid to late 90s when the insert craze was going nuts and all the shiny cards were getting made. And I didn't get back into it until a while. What about you?
Yes, I was a hardcore collector as a kid, right at the peak of the junk wax era, where you could find baseball card packs at literally every location.
Oh, yeah.
Not just grocery stores, but dentist office, gas stations, everywhere you go.
My car wash sold 88 Donruss. I remember Dale Murphy stand up very, very distinctly.
Yeah, and I think because it was all around, it was just so enticing as a kid. So I collected, but I got out early-ish, I guess. I got out around 1992, so I didn't get to experience any of the parallels and chase cards search that you encountered through the 90s.
Yeah, I'm not going to feel bad for you because you were experiencing dating during that time.
Well,
while I was parallel.
I don't know. Still, those 87 tops held a nice flair.
And they,
I was just going to say that because of that, because I missed all that, when I got back in or first started thinking about getting back into baseball cards, it was 2017, fall of 2017. Baseball had ended, and I'm a big baseball fan. We had 2 kids under 2, and I don't know. I just kind of the first cards I came across of. In fact,
can I stop right there real quick? Jeff just said we had 2 kids under 2. Jeff is married to a woman with whom he has 2 kids under 2. These are not our kids.
Oh, right. Although
pronouns
they do cheer louder for Chris at the softball games than me.
Sure. Well, you know, I mean, all right, as you were.
I feel like they're honorary dad.
Okay,
the first
fair enough. I'll take
these crazy 2017 Diamond Icons.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't believe that there were autographs in bold colors and thick cards, and it was really, I thought, pretty cool. So I started collecting those Diamond Icons. And even though Icons was a very generous label for that set because there were a lot of non-Icons, but they were still cool cards. And then I discovered breaks, which was like the whole world opened up because it was very, I found them very like relaxing watching breaks. And I am a big Brewers fan, so I get the Brewers in a lot of breaks. And I soon realized that it wasn't a very profitable endeavor. And so while I was trying to convince Chris to join the hobby, I kind of got all those mistakes out of the way early.
Yes, which I still greatly appreciate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
But yeah, you tried hard to get me back in, and I put up a pretty good fight. 2 things got me back in. Lalo Acuna image variations. So I remember you explained to me that these cards have the bat up, so those are okay. But the one you want has the bat going down. And I'm just thinking, like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, it's the same card. But it isn't the same card, and I soon learned. But it was actually this card that broke the dam. The 2019, the Rook, the Gold Cup image variation is the one that was too much. I couldn't say no. Efispitch, you were exactly right. Jeff has cleansed himself of his breaking and ripping behavior.
Yes. Many dollars later. But that said, I like to think that it got me to the point that I did, and I was able to convince Chris to join back in, so part of it's worth it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm very glad. I appreciate you kind of taking all those grenades for me so that by the time I got back, you know, I knew what to avoid.
Yes.
Well, some of them.
Well, you didn't even know what to avoid. You still go for it. I mean, we still like ripping backs occasionally, but.
Well, yeah. Yeah, Stadium Club looks too nice to not rip. Oh, careful, bird person.
All right, so what did you pick up that you're going to show?
Okay, so just before Christmas, I picked up Topps Chrome is kind of a I hate to say it, it's not a PG show, but Topps Chrome is kind of a clusterfuck this year. But I did pick up this Wander Franco card.
Nice. Which
is his image variation SSP, not to be confused with SP or the SP variations or color refractors or speckle refractors that they gave us this year. But I figured this is a good card to go after. There are, if the math holds out, there are 100 of each of the 5 SSPs. So that means there are 100 of those Wander Francos. And he just has a sea of rookie cards this year. As we know, Topps printed everything to the moon. And I feel like there's a new set coming out every week with, you know, Wander on the box. And I just feel like in 5 or 10 years, it's not going to hold up. Like, are we going to be waiting for the next Cosmic Chrome release date in 2030? Probably not. I hope not.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's one of the big things that we've learned is just from 2018 to now, the production has become so exponential that base cards are almost becoming rather worthless. And I saw today on Instagram, Sports Card Investor was saying that the #1 most graded card of the last year was a Wander Franco, and it was this base rookie at 7.7 thousand cards. So 7,700 of his base cards. The next closest of any kind was an Anthony Edwards basketball card at 3,500 graded. But that just goes to show that there's just so many out there that it's almost going to be impossible to hold value. So the question is, where do you find value?
Yeah, and I still remember when Series 1 first opened, the first Wander Franco on eBay, I think sold for like $45.
Yes.
Pretty sure you can get a lot of 10 right now for maybe $9 shipped, something like that, give or take. But yeah, that Wander Franco was great. So far, we don't see that image anywhere else across any of the other sets, which I think makes it important. You know, so the only place to get it is on this card. I put up a poll on my story a week or so ago asking people what percentage of Topps Chrome product do they think is actually getting opened, and the majority said 50% or less. So if we want to look at it like that, a card like this with a print run of 100, maybe there's 50, maybe there's less.
Right.
Maybe there's a little. I think that's probably a number we can feel fairly confident on, somewhere in that range. And the issues with this set are crazy. The surface issues, the centering issues. The reason that I grabbed this one is because from what I've seen on eBay and Blowout and such, it's like the nicest front centering that I've encountered. Which of course means, because Topps is Topps, it means the back is going to be off. But for most of Topps Chrome, I think we have to make that choice. Do we want good front centering or we want good back centering? And I'll take front over back.
I see a mention here in the comments from DKV 2.0 opening day. Does that mean that you've seen that image? Is that an opening day image of Wander?
Is it?
I don't know. I just saw opening. Maybe that's what.
I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. I think his SP from opening day is batting. Maybe is that a dugout peaks or something? I don't know. If you have that, please shoot me a picture of it. I'd love to see it.
He says, and Shop House. That's right. It's super SSSSP if you can find them in good condition.
Yes, yeah, very, very. Yeah, there's at least 3 or 4 more S's for sure. But yeah, there's just so much noise with Wander Franco. Like so many base cards, so many speckle refractors and lava refractors and fuchsia refractors, for crying out loud, that I think if you can find something that is different, I mean, maybe like a base gold refractor, a Topps SSP, I would try to stay as mainstream as possible.
Right, because with these mammoth print runs that the companies are doing, especially on the big products, Chrome and Flagship, they're, in order to make it interesting for people, they're just expanding the number of parallels.
Right.
So
it hits.
Yeah. So if you can stay with the ones that are really both rare and scarce, I guess you could say, that are sought after, I think that's the way to go. So yeah, I think that's the best condition Wander I've seen of that card.
Yeah,
it's not perfect.
I know our buddy Ethos Pitch talks a lot about history too, and like if you're looking for refractors, golds and blues have been around about as long as Topps Chrome has been around. So if you're going to pick a color, those are probably the 2 colors that you want to go with. And I also just want to say, as far as Wander goes, the dude is going to be 22 on opening day next year. So a lot of people are writing him off, in both fantasy baseball and baseball cards. But I feel like anyone the Rays are willing to give an extension to is someone that we should probably not take off our radar as collectors.
Yeah, they seem to know more than we do.
Yes, I think that's a safe assumption. For example, they're called the Rays. They're not the Tampa Bay Blabbin Bout Slabbins. Well, so they deserve the credit for that.
They might fill a stadium if that was their name. So.
That's a good. They might. The jerseys would pop. I guarantee that.
Before we go on, I saw a question in the chat about why so few J-Rod Sapphires have been listed on eBay compared to years past. And I know we've talked a lot about Sapphire this year. If you want to go ahead and take that one.
I mean, we're speculating. My guess would be that not many people are ripping Sapphire. I think they took the auto out of the product, and the 250? What's the MSRP on that from Topps?
I don't even know. I didn't buy it this year. It's my first year not buying. The other is they're doing a full set as well. So
it's 660 cards. You're going to get 32 in a box and no autograph, and I think it's 250 or 240 a box. So I mean, your odds of getting something good are minuscule. Right. I think most people walking away.
Oh yeah, 250. Okay, so 250 for 32 cards.
Yep.
And that, like Ethos Pitch says, when you get a full checklist like that, to get any single card, especially the top cards, J-Rod, for example, it's just going to be so hard to find. So if you can find a good deal on one, it's probably good to grab. I think Sapphire, just like we were talking about with regular Chrome, there's not going to be as much of it ripped because of the those odds.
Yeah, and I'm not ripping anything because I know I'm just going to get like a Marcelo Zuna refractor, and that's not gonna get your money back.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Okay. Well,
do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I want to talk about this card. Right. So another card that we picked up just over Christmas is another SSP, in fact, in this case. But I don't mean to get off on too much of a rant here, but I just got the mail today, and I wanted to show you guys how it showed up. So, nope.
Oh, geez.
Envelope, just a skinny envelope, nothing inside. So the card is just.
Is this the card that?
No pad, cardboard.
I bought
a top loader.
Oh God.
And to top it off, Scotch tape, sealing it in. So miraculously, it seems to have arrived unscathed. I didn't take the tape off yet, but I guess we can give the guy a pass. Maybe this was his first and only sale on eBay, so maybe it's that we're glad we got the card. But yeah, it was a little frustrating to open it like that. And I think it's interesting what how people ship cards, both raw cards and graded cards. It doesn't take that much to secure it. So that's just one of my hobby pet peeves. I mean, if it's a $10 card, you can send it in a plain envelope.
That was not a $10 card.
No.
Holy shit. My heart rate is through the roof, and I think I might have peed a little tiny bit.
Yeah,
but
let's see if I can get a decent shot of it.
Hey, yes.
So yeah, as mentioned, all the 2020 Series 1 SSPs were close-ups, which was great. And just to talk about what we were talking about before with the difference in print runs, PSA of the base Yordan rookie has graded over 24,000 of the base rookie. And of this particular SSP, there's 72 there. So it's just an exponentially smaller subset of cards that you're dealing with. So I think that's what makes SPs and SSPs so attractive as both a collector and investor as you're trying to look forward and think about what's going to hold value. And so yeah, once I get it out of this top loader, we'll see just how it looks. But
if anyone has one of those in a PSA holder or a BGS holder, does it say like Yordan Alvarez like SSP smoldering, or does it just say SSP? Because I mean, goddamn, fuck,
look at that.
Give the Rock a run for his money right there. That's an intense, emotional stare. That is.
Yes, and that's where he took the league by storm. The thing I think I like about Yordan is that he is just such a crazy good hitter.
Okay.
He can just hit everything. So I think he's got a good long future. His playing ability and body type project to long careers.
Yes. Yeah, and I think he's given Robbie Ray an off-season of nightmares for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he had arguably the two biggest non-Bryce Harper postseason hits that we saw this year.
Yeah. He's still young and still in the heart of the lineup of one of the better teams. I mean, I don't want to take away from your Braves for the next decade, but Houston's pretty solid. So I think he's going to be back in for some more big playoff at bats.
Yeah. I should point out that Wander Franco, exactly one of it has been graded at PSA. Exactly one, the Chrome, and I think it was an 8. So I'm guessing the surface looked like most of the surfaces look like.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that Yordan, does he have an update? He does not have an SSP, right? I know Bichette has an SSP in both, but I don't think Yordan does.
I don't think so. I'm trying to picture what it would be, and I don't think so.
I think he's got an SP where he's like at the podium getting his Rookie of the Year award.
Yeah, right.
I think that's his only flagship SSP image-wise. So I like that card even more.
Yeah.
He's young too. How old is he going into next year?
Anybody know? I think I want to say 26.
Oh.
Born in 97 of June, so he'll be 26 in June.
Yeah, he'll turn 26 next year. Yeah. A lot. And he seems like someone that the hobby's kind of not focusing on because he's on the team that everyone hates.
Yes. Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, and especially with the market going the way it is, I think that's the best way to try to find value. Maybe look at players like Wander, who was under the radar for underperforming last year, but he's still young and still has good potential. And the same thing with Yordan. He's been in the shadow of a lot of the other big hitters, and
Yeah. Yeah.
chance.
If you think about that, yeah, like look at his values compared to like a Julio Rodriguez, who obviously is a hot name right now. Like, what does Julio have to do next year for the values to tick up, given where they are right now? I mean, is it even possible? Like,
Yeah.
I think we're looking at like his max, and guys like Wander and Yordan still have room to grow.
Yeah. Agreed.
But Yordan has an absolute fuck ton of rookies in 2020.
Yes.
Like they back, so he is in everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Like
before we go on, one of the things about this card is not only is it the rookie, but it does have the cup, which is very cool.
Yes, they kept the cup on the on all the 2020 SSDs.
Yes, they kept the cup, and it's the double rookie card and the cup, which I think is like Evers.
But rather frustratingly, oh, that's upside down. Topps took the rookie cup off the Devers variation.
Yes.
As if just to mock me.
Yeah.
Very it's still a card I take to bed with me, but if it had the cup on it, we'd be even closer. For sure. Is there, if you had to pick a second Yordan Alvarez card to get, what would it be? What do you think?
I don't know. He's got some nice chrome variations too. That look, and some Stadium Club autos, which you're familiar with. I don't know.
I was gonna say Chop House Cards has an interesting comment here. There's a lot of people hoping that Lewis Robert, has a great year in 2023. I almost feel like he's too strong and too fast, like for his body to handle it. I love to see what he could do over 150 games, but I'm not sure we'll ever get it. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, brick stadium background is great. The white jersey chrome, yes.
Yeah, the brick stadium. I think that's Baltimore. I think it's the where.
Yeah,
that's probably his best image, like purely going on picture.
And the full white uniform on that chrome variation is great.
Yeah, especially get the color parallels, like that white like pops off the card.
Yeah.
I shouldn't talk about things popping, but yeah, it's that card is beautiful as well. Yeah. Ooh. But I'm trying to think like if he has anything else that really jumps out, and I don't know. I think I put that SSB pretty high on my list.
Yeah, Yordan's one of those guys that doesn't have a lot of prospect cards, surprisingly, because now it seems like you find guys with 2, 3, 4, 5 years of prospect cards, Bowman cards.
Yep. Yeah, he only has. I think he has 2018. He has an auto, and his first non-auto was 19. I think, right?
Right. Yeah, he's the auto first.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
For cards, would love to see a full season of Eloy and Robert. Yeah, I think the White Sox have so much potential. So.
Oh yeah, but they've had potential for like 3 years, and they can't stay healthy, or Lucas Giolito starts throwing batting practice. Yeah. I was gonna go peek for his bio cards. Okay, Bleecker Street wants to know if we've ever gotten into the variations in the 3D cards. Personally, I have not.
I haven't either. I love the 3D cards. They're amazing how they look in hand. I didn't know that until I think last year I picked up my first couple, and it's just that 3D technology is really great. I guess I didn't know there were SPs within 3D.
There are, and I will direct you, if you're interested in those, I would direct you to an account called Mr. Ethos Pitch is a very big fan of the 3D variations. Some of the images are real cool. You don't see them anywhere else. But give him a message, shoot him a message, or check him out.
Well, the print run must be so low because the print run on 3D is all right.
Yeah, it's got to be minuscule, but it's also a very niche.
Yeah.
That's the question. When you find something really rare, is it possible for it to be too rare for anyone to know about it or care about it? It's kind of a fine line.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we stick the Topps and Topps Chrome, everyone's going to know what it is, and that always helps. Anyway, no, is that Doyle? What is Doyle saying?
It would be interesting to do a study researching what is the average age where guys achieve peak value on their cards.
Oh, that's an interesting point. Yeah, I don't know. Probably in today's market, I would say 18 years old.
Right. Yeah, I think, I mean, it's become pretty commonplace that peak value for prospects is like basically right before they're called up or when they're called up, and then it drops, right?
Well, for a certain other Seattle outfield prospect, it definitely dropped very quickly post call up.
Substantially, but I think even for the majority of guys who are successful, there's just so many people prospecting and sitting on those Bowen Chrome autos that when a player, they just kind of flood the market with sales. But as far as actually being in the big leagues, that would be an interesting question to see about what age. And we've been spoiled the last couple of years with some of these young guys like Soto and Acuna who are so successful so early that everybody just assumes, well, if somebody's 24 years old and they haven't made an all-star team or been a top 10 MVP, they're a failure. So that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, I feel like the general sort of graph of how people get better, it's a slow, steady improvement. Most people don't come out of the gate like Acuna, Tatis, and Soto did. Like they're more exceptions. I feel like Guerrero is probably a more accurate trend for most players. Like a little struggle, slight improvement, and then a little zigzag, and then I think we'll see him really start to take off.
Yeah.
But no, St. John, Stephen, 13. Neither of us have any shares of Jason Dominguez. I don't think. I shouldn't speak for both of us, but I don't think we do. Oh God, do we think we just have a new?
What's that?
I'm reading the short print a day question. Do you think we've established a new floor in the market, or do you foresee values to continue to drop? I think values in base cards will continue to drop because they're just not. I mean, the PSA pops continue to rise. The presses are just always going to be running. But I think the rare stuff, it keeps going up. I mean, I can't tell you how many, I shouldn't because I think my wife is watching, tell you how many eBay auctions I've lost on stuff I thought other people might not know about or that was rare. And I'm thinking like, oh, this market's down. But they're hard to find stuff of the marquee players and the big sets. It hasn't really dropped as much. But I mean, base cards, I would just stay away. Don't waste your time grading. Don't waste your time buying.
It's gonna be interesting to see how the industry reacts, because then I think I saw a comment in here too about the price of cards keeps going up, the price of boxes and unopened wax. At what point is the consumer going to just say, no, we're not going to buy it? And then the manufacturers might have to make a move.
I would like to think we're almost there. Like, I think we're at that tipping point. I think when Topps
lost a lot of people that just came in during the COVID time when everything was up, no matter what you bought it for, you could sell it for more. And even cards and base cards getting slabbed, you could slab it and sell it 2, 3, 4, 5 times value. That isn't happening anymore. So I think a lot of those people are gone. So most of the people that are left are collectors and looking more for the rare stuff and trying to find a footing.
And I'd like to think that little blaster box of Topps Chrome that had like 6 packs in it that they were selling for $40. I feel like maybe hopefully that's the tipping point.
And with coming in, are they going to be more proactive? It seems like Topps is 18 to 24 months behind the trends with whatever they are. And so maybe Fanatics with their $10 billion valuation will be a little bit more proactive in staying on top of what demand is and what supply should be.
So next, Jesse Lowdown, the answer is still no, but soon, very, very soon.
Well, if they're watching, they've seen the Wander now.
But that's not the card he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
I'll bring that one out next week. It's a personal Grail card. Kind of showed up and went for way less than I thought it was going to. My wife and I have an unofficial bet on it that I'll get into next week, hopefully. But we'll see.
I
should.
I'm in 2011. Had on shelves forever. Bought one for $85 at release. That's amazing. That was before I was back in it, so I can't even imagine what that's like. Hopefully you still have a couple.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. That's like I see that all the time. People say if you go back in time and buy and go anywhere, I feel like 2011 is probably where you would go. That stuff was so cheap. No one knew who Trout was or really cared who Trout was.
Right.
I mean, I remember that there's that YouTube video of the guy pulling the 2009 gold Trout auto
The gold
like,
or orange. Yeah. Yeah.
Those days are gone.
Yes. So speaking of days that are gone, do you want to show us a card, kind of a blast from the past?
Yeah. We'll sort of wind down a little bit here with some of our. We'll do a favorite junk era card, but this was like, when I was in my throes of collecting. This thing was completely unattainable for so long, and now they're we didn't realize how overprinted these things were because you just wouldn't see them. But this card will always, and I mean always, put a smile on my face. Everything about it is just fantastic. Like the little mustache, the look of the cocky look on his face. It's just a near perfect baseball card for the time.
And for collectors of a certain age, usually you only saw those like beneath a pile of plastic this thick in a screw down at the card store.
Yeah, it would look like a bathroom key.
Yeah,
sitting under the glass.
Yes,
but
that's great. Well, I knew you were going to show a rated rookie, so I wanted to show another rated rookie, one that I'm much more familiar with than the Canseco. And I don't have a lot of vintage cards here, or cards from when I was a kid. To my parents' chagrin, there's still a lot in their basement. But I looked around for 5 minutes and found 5 of this card.
That's about the wow.
So
look at Flash Gordon.
Familiar with this set or this card? Tom Gordon, rated rookie. You find him everywhere. Still now. Now it's 30 years on, and you can find him everywhere. And I just kind of have this vision that someday, like millions of years from now, the Earth is going to explode in a fiery ball of rock, and some alien species is going to come to Earth, where Earth was, and find floating rocks and Twinkies and just like scores of Tom Gordon cards through space.
I think in the beginning of Wall-E, he's actually scooping up a pile of Tom Gordons at one point and putting them into a pile.
Well,
but yeah, I had like when during COVID, I had like 4 or 5 friends that asked me to come look at their junk era stuff and see like what's valuable, what isn't. And they all had these big tubs, and in every single tub, there were at least 5 of those Tom Gordon cards.
Yeah.
It's got the most printed baseball cards of the 1980s. It has to be. I feel like for every Griffey they printed like 25 Tom Gordons.
Yes, and Willis agreed. Tom Gordon cards and roaches. Tom Gordon cards and roaches will be all that's left.
Yes, that's it. They'll outlive us all.
Yeah. And that's right. I see your comment, DK. The '89 Donruss Griffey's proof base will be worth nothing. I mean, that's about the best base card of the junk era, and
not that version. Yeah,
the later junk wax era. But yeah, I think the point now where people are talking about being another junk era, either a junk wax era or a junk slab era now, even that there's so many graded cards that are selling for $2, $3, $4, $5. I think that part of that is right on. And so as collectors, we got to just look for other things in the hobby. They're out there. There's amazing cards, and being on IG every day, you see these card accounts with cards I haven't seen. It's just fun to see them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what was I going to say? I think the Lewis Robert tops, like PSA 10s, I think those are under $15 now.
Yeah.
Got to be over, I don't know, 15,000 of those maybe. I mean, it's just, try to find something that comes out of a main set. Stick with Topps Chrome and look for something that's legitimately rare and cold-centered if you can find it. There's not a lot of that going around in 2022.
Yeah.
Willis D-Fit. I also still love the Billy Ripken FF card, an absolute classic. That might be the most valuable, like, common base card of all time.
Yeah, well, and the other thing with that one is there's so many variations. So I've seen people collect all the variations and get them slabbed. That's a pretty fun collection to look through.
Oh yeah, there's like whiteout, scribble outs, those saw cuts where I guess Fleer tried to like run a saw into the card.
Yeah,
which just is the most efficient way to cover up,
No.
you know, a swear word. But yeah, Fleer was always trying, I guess. Ha ha. Oh, good Lord.
Old
Oh, yeah.
good rookies. Yes.
Yeah. Top House was talking about the famous, I think it's supposed to be Smoltz, but it's Blabbin. I think I have that right.
Yes.
From,
Yes. Yeah, I mean, there's still some people that search for those airs, the Dale Murphy reverse negative from Upper Deck, and there's some valuable airs back in that era.
I feel like someone's got to, I don't know if people have, I'm sure someone did. Everyone's done something. But that 90 Donruss Glavine Smoltz card, someone's got to get that signed by both and then like slab that up.
That's a great idea.
Get I think it's a Smoltz card with Glavine on it. I think I get them backwards, but whoever it actually is should sign it like it's me, like in quote, like give a little.
That's a great.
You know,
great make it a one of one, right?
Yeah. I mean, until someone sees it, and there'll be a second.
Right.
But yeah, I found that. Yeah, that's kind of where it belongs. Like it's not a rare. It's not rare. It should be in a shoebox at your hobby shop, but. You know, it's still a really cool card, especially if you're a Braves fan from the 90s.
Yeah.
Way to work Maddox into the wording on the back, but he wasn't there yet, sadly. What can you do? There are no perfect cards, I guess. I don't know.
Well, thank you, everybody, for your comments and questions.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. We're trying to keep this a little bit short for the first time. We'll see how it goes. Wisconsin Cards, hello. Let me give you a special shout out. Wisconsin Cards is actually the Wisconsin Cards is where the beauty came from.
There
I appreciate you chatting with me off of eBay. Always nice to take fees and taxes out of the equation.
I found 10 Jim Palmer rookies in my dad's closet. Were they in his jockeys? Oh, thank you, Wisconsin Cards. Yes, I'm repping my my Robin Yount rookie card shirt.
Nice. Well, what else? I'm tempted to ask what else was in his dad's closet, but I feel like we're opening up a can of worms. We might not be able to put the lid back on.
Yeah.
So maybe we just let it go.
10 Jim Palmer rookies is good. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
The hell of a find. That's I mean, I wish I don't even want to know what's in my dad's closet, but oh, the gritty card. Yeah, that gritty card was donated from the Megan collection. It's like one of the few baseball cards my wife has that she likes.
Yeah, that's nice.
Full set. Wow. Oh, well. All right. Well, anyway, thanks again, guys, for joining us. Chip is playing all the Wild Bill, Rookie Autos, Skeleton. All right. Close up of the gritty. All right, hold on. There we go. The eyes kind of follow you. He is a haunting figure. I mean, absolute nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
And then
It's going.
It says get to know gritty, and I really encourage anyone to do that. I think that's just a dangerous game. We're playing with fire.
You're getting a request for a close-up of the Acuna Freeman card.
Oh, all right. All right. Yeah. I like these oversized cards. Yeah. I know someone on Instagram really hates the mitten cards. I don't know why. It's a weird thing to dislike, but what are you going to do? But the uniforms are perfect. The high five is perfect. I just don't know why. Every time I see this card, I wonder why Topps wasted it in opening day. Why they didn't make that, like a Topps Chrome SP or something. Because if they had that in a gold refractor, I mean, I would be virtually helpless to stop myself from buying it.
Maybe that's why they knew that would put too many immediate danger.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, my heart rate wouldn't survive. I don't know. But it's a really cool image. Opening day does have some cool SPs. That's
appreciate
time. All right. Peace out till next time. All right. Well, anyway, thanks for everyone who joined us. Jeff, do you have anything you want to add?
No, this was great. Chris and I usually talk about cards all the time, and our wives were sick of hearing about it. So Chris suggested maybe we just find some people who like talking about cards and chatting. And so this was great. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. We'll try to make this a weekly thing. We have some ideas in store. Hopefully, most of them or some of them will be interesting. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll do what we can. But anyway, until next time, we'll continue blabbing about slabbing. Blabbin.
Yeah. So, but we're looking at Tuesday, right?
Yeah. Actually, yeah. be good to go on Tuesdays moving forward.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Master.
Have a good night, everybody.
Chris has a lot of great Acuna cards, so maybe we can do an episode where he just shows those. That would be great.
Well, that's very nice of you. Maybe we can.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you, Jeff has a lot of great Acuna cards, too. He just doesn't focus on them as much as I do.
Well, yeah, we could do an Acuna episode. It seems like there's a lot of Braves fans, so.
Oh, yeah.
Hoping for a out of him.
I think it's a great idea. All right. Have a good night, guys.
New year, and we'll see you next week.